الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فلما رجعوا إلى أبيهم قالوا يا أبانا منع منا الكيل فأرسل معنا أخانا نكتل وإنا له لحافظون قال هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل فالله خير حافظا وهو أرحم الراحمين ولما فتحوا متاعهم وجدوا بضاعتهم ردت إليهم قالوا يا أبانا ما نبغي هذه بضاعتنا ردت إلينا ونمير أهلنا ونحفظ أخانا ونزداد كيل بعير ذلك كيل يسير قال لن أرسله معكم حتى تؤتون موثقا من الله لتأتونني به إلا أن يحاط بكم فلما آتوه موثقهم قال الله على ما نقول وكيل وقال يا بني لا تدخلوا من باب واحد وادخلوا من أبواب متفرقة وما أغني عنكم من الله من شيء إن الحكم إلا لله عليه توكلت وعليه فليتوكل المتوكلون ولما دخلوا من حيث أمرهم أبوهم ما كان يغني عنهم من الله من شيء إلا حاجة في نفس يعقوب قضاها وإنه لذو علم لما علمناه ولكن أكثر الناس لا يعلمون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Yousuf, the story of Yusuf and his brothers is being detailed here. So last night we had read that Yusuf sent the brothers back with loaded camels and told them to come back next year and bring their real brother, the one brother that they were saying that we have another brother. He told them to bring him back next year. If he comes in person, then he will give them grains and provisions for that brother as well. And if that does not happen, then he's going to think that these people were liars, these brothers are liars, and he's not going to give any grain to any of them. فَلَمَّا رَجَعُوا إِلَىٰ أَبِيهِمْ So when these people returned to their father, قالوا, they said, Ya Abana, O our father, مُنِعَ مِنَّا الْكَيْلُ The required measure of grain has been withheld from us. They were referring to the grain that was either referring to the grain, the share of Binyamin that was withheld, or that the future, if we need grain again, it has been withheld from us. We cannot get it unless we take Binyamin with us. فَأَرْسِلْ مَعَنَا أَخَانَا So send with us our brother. نَكْتَلْ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ So that when he goes, we will get our full share, and of course we will protect him, we will be his guards. قال يعقوب على نبينا الصلاة والسلام said هل آمنكم عليه إلا كما أمنتكم على أخيه من قبل Should I trust you about him as I trusted you earlier about his brother? Yusuf على نبينا الصلاة والسلام So he said that I am not going to trust you. فالله خير حافظا It is Allah who is the best guardian, وهو أرحم الراحمين, and he is the most merciful of all the merciful. This part, these words of Yaqub alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has quoted in the Quran, given to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This part of the ayat, فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَافِظًا وَهُوَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ It's a very effective wazifa, very effective to give people, give children, give yourself, give your family, give your wealth, everything in the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَاللَّهُ خَيْرٌ حَافِظًا وَهُوَ أَرْحَمُ الرَّاحِمِينَ It protects from many things. وَلَمَّا فَتَحُوا مَتَاعَهُمْ Then these people, when they opened their baggage, وَجَدُوا بِضَاعَتَهُمْ رُدَّتْ إِلَيْهِمْ They found that the price that they had paid, it was given back to them. Their goods, they found them back, returned to them. قَالُوا يَا أَبَانَا مَا نَبْغِي They said, our father, what else should we want? What do we need? هَذِهِ بِضَاعَتُنَا رُدَّتْ إِلَيْنَا This is our goods that have been given back to us. وَنَمِيرُ أَهْلَنَا And we shall bring food to our family. وَنَحْفَظُ أَخَانَا And we'll protect our brother. وَنَزْدَادُ كَيْلَ بَعِيرٍ And we'll get even more. One extra camel. ذَلِكَ كَيْلٌ يَسِيرٌ And this is an easy way to get more grain. Easy way. قال, Hadith Yaqub alayhi salam said, لن أرسله معكم, I am never going to send him with you, حتى تؤتوني موثقا من الله, unless and until you give me a pledge in the name of Allah, لتأتنني به إلا أن يحاط بكم, that you are going to definitely bring him back to me, the other brother Binyamin back to me, إلا أن يحاط بكم, unless you are totally overpowered, surrounded by the circumstances. فلما آتوه موثقهم, when the brothers gave their pledge, he said, قال الله على ما نقول وكيل, he said, Allah is watchful over what we say. So he made Allah a witness over what they were saying. وقال, and he said, يا بني, O my sons, لا تدخلوا من باب واحد, do not enter from one door, one gate, وادخلوا من أبواب متفرقة, enter from different gates. So what Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salam was trying to do was that these 11 brothers, healthy, young, and if they entered from the same gate of the city, it is possible that someone's evil sight, someone's nazr bad might affect them. This is what the Mufassirin have written. So Yaqub alayhi salam is doing a measure, whatever is within his capacity, to disperse them so that they are not seen as one strong group together, which is visible, very visible to people. But alongside he said, وَمَا أُغْنِي عَنْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ, there is nothing that can go against I cannot help you against the will of Allah. In al-hukmu illa lillah, the real command is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alayhi tawakkalt, upon him I am placing my trust. So وَعَلَيْهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُتَوَكِّلُونَ, and upon him the people who trust should trust him alone. So he is advising his sons as well to place the trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now from this ayah we learned many things. Number one, evil sight. It's something that's not made up by people. It's something that's proven from the Quran and the Hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's a famous story that one Sahabi, Sahal ibn Hanif, if I remember the name correct, he was taking a shower or taking a bath, and someone else, Amir ibn Rabi'ah radiallahu anhu, if I remember the name correct, he saw his body and he appreciated and he said that I've never seen such a body. So his sight affected the person and he became sick and started to grow fever. When it was told to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Amir bin Rabi'ah should make wuzu, and the water that is dripping from his body, that should be put over the body of Sahal ibn Hanif, and when they did that, the effect of the evil sight was gone. So this is one way of treating the evil sight, which is proven from the method of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but oftentimes we do not know who is the one who has placed the evil sight on. Therefore, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said to Amir bin Rabi'ah radiallahu anh that why did you not give him the dua of barakah, that may Allah give barakah and blessing in what you have. If somebody prays in such a way, then the effects of evil sight are gone. There's other things, there's some practical things from what we learn from the example of Yaqub alayhi salam, that do not make yourself very visible. If there's a blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you have, do not put it before the people to put their evil side on. If you feel that this is something that can affect you, then don't show off, don't go about bragging about the things that you have. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that evil sight is such a thing that takes a man to their grave, puts a man in his grave and a camel in the pot, in the cooking pot. So therefore evil sight is a reality, and there's different methods of avoiding it, some practical methods, some wazaif, some ways from the Quran and the adiyah, mathura adiyah, to protect yourself. MashaAllah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. The Prophet ﷺ has said that whenever you see something good in your own self, or if you see something good about someone else, say MashaAllah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, which means that whatever Allah willed, that happened and nobody has any power against it. So therefore this protects and secures something from the evil side. The other thing is that even after we take all the measures, the real command is of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the story goes that these brothers entered from different doors and they were protected from the evil side. But the real intent, that was that Binyamin and all the brothers come back safe and sound without any problems, that did not happen. As we learn inshallah tomorrow or next week, that Binyamin was held back by Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, by the king. So the real command the real mashiyat, the real system is ongoing, and that is of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inil hukmu illa lillah, the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prevails. So if Allah has decided about something, then it is going to happen. Our methods to prevent it, they can only go to a certain length, but if Allah, nobody can change the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in doing those methods, in adopting those means to protect yourself, which are all preferable, which are all praiseworthy, and they should be done, it is a sunnah of Anbiya. It is a sunnah of Anbiya, the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the sunnah of Hadith Yaqub alayhi salam, as well as we learning, to try to protect yourself from evil side. But still, as you are doing it, we have to place our trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not in the wazifa or not in the means that we are adopting. وَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا مِنْ حَيْثُ أَمَرَهُمْ أَبُوهُم, when they, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that way, when they entered as they are in the city in the manner that their father had advised them, مَا كَانَ يُغْنِي عَنْهُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ, nothing could so their father, he could not help them in any way against the will of Allah. إِلَّا حَاجَةً فِي نَفْسِ يَعْقُوبَ قَضَاهَا, but it was just an urge in the heart of Yaqub which was satisfied. وَإِنَّهُ لَذُو عِلْمٍ لِمَا عَلَّمْنَاهُ, and he was a man of knowledge because we had given him knowledge. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, but most of the people do not know. So most of the people looking at this might think that Yaqub alayhi salam was trying to avoid the destiny of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's not the case. Yaqub alayhi salam was doing what he was supposed to do as a human being, which is that whatever is in your control, you will do it. And then you are supposed to place your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And finally, if a certain calamity does befall, you have to be patient and give in and submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is what Yaqub alayhi salam was doing. This is the knowledge, the perfect knowledge that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given to him. And this is according to which he was acting, that he would do whatever is allowed, permissible within the constraints of Sharia, within the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but also at the same time he was submitting and placing his trust in the will and command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذي أهلكه خاصته. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.